Part 61. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 601. After the 8 madmen died in the battle, Kazekage Hayate and Mizukage Lang knew that they were no match for Yang Tian and others, so they quickly turned around and ran away. Yang Tian and others were too lazy to chase after them. After cleaning up the trophies, they continued to set off. At this time, they were extremely close to the Japanese war zone. Looking from a distance, they could even roughly see the outline of the Japanese war zone. According to the world map, there are 3 major empires in the Japanese theater. Of course, there must have been 4 major empires in the Japanese war zone before, because every war zone in Taizhou has 4 major empires by default. There are only 3 empires in the Japanese theater now, and obviously a lot has happened to them in the past year. According to the search device, there are still 3 red dots left in the Japanese war zone, representing the 3 mythical beasts. They are located in 3 different empires. Left, center, right, 3 empires in 3 directions, from left to right. Let's go. Yang Tian waved his hand, and together with Huang Mao and the other 5, they flew towards the empire on the far left side of the Japanese war zone. System, you discover Japanese war zone and gain 10,000 experience points. System, you discovered Fallen Angel Empire and gain 10,000 experience points. A moment later, the 6 Yang Tians arrived at the Japanese war zone and entered the territory of the Fallen Angel Empire. They didn't stop for a moment and continued walking towards the red dot coordinates. After Yang Tian and others left, Fenying Hayate and Shui Yinglang returned to the previous battlefield. Looking down, they saw the bodies of the 8 Gates madman, Amaterasu Saigeo, and others, still floating on the sea. The 2 of them waited for a moment, and then streams of light came rushing towards them from the horizon. That was when reinforcements from the ninja tribe arrived, led by none other than Hokage Kai and Reikage Shun. Hokage Kai is about 30 years old, with short red hair and a mustache of the same color on the edge of his upper lip. His face is majestic, giving people an unsmiling look. Reikage Shun is much younger, probably in his early 20s, with a rather proud face and a slender figure, especially his hands and legs are a little longer than ordinary people, giving him an overall feeling of being extremely strong. These 2 people are the real aces of the ninja club. Their strength is extraordinary, and Reikage Shun's natural talent is even stronger than that of Flame Kai. Hayate, Alung, what's going on? After the army arrived, Hokage Kai asked in a deep voice. He probably knew that he was a step late. Kazekage Hayate's scalp was numb for a moment, and his face was covered with sweat. We lost the battle. Madman and Saigeo were all killed, and there were tens of thousands of Sanjin who participated in this battle. Basically, they all also died. Mizukage Lang shrugged and said helplessly. As his name suggests, he has a rather wild personality, which is completely different from the conservative and fearful Kazekage Hayate. Of course, the main reason why he is so calm now is because he doesn't complain about losing. After all, Yang Tian and others are indeed too strong. Tell me the specific situation. Mizukage Lang was so calm and completely shameless after losing, which made Hokage Kai's face darken and asked, I got information from Hayate, saying that there are only 6 of Muddy Waters and the others, but now you 4 plus tens of thousands of people. Actually, did you lose the fight and didn't even leave the other party alone? The alliance leader was obviously angry, which made Fenying Hao Fen even more frightened, while Mizukage Nang wiped his nose and still calmly recounted the previous battle briefly. Suan Wu, Divine Turtle Shadow. Well, you won't regret it if you lose. After listening to Mizukagenomi's narration and explanation, Hokage Kai nodded in a muffled voice and no longer targeted Mizukagenomi. As the leader's attitude changed, a smile appeared on the corner of Mizukage Lang's mouth, and he glanced at Kazu Hayate with a stern look, as if to say that you are scared of nothing. After fully understanding the situation, Hokage Kai ordered several accompanying priests to resurrect the 8 Gates madman and Amaterasu Saigeo. In addition to the ninjas, there are also a few priests. Ninjas can practice physical skills and magic escape skills, and magic escape skills have various attributes. It can be said that the classification of ninjas is extremely wide, and there are even medical ninjas, but even medical ninjas have no means of resurrection. Therefore, even in the ninja department, priests are indispensable. Boss, after the 8 Gates Madman and Amaterasu Cjo were resurrected, they greeted Hokage Kai and Raikage Shun awkwardly. Madman, you can't help but open the 8 doors, right? Lei Yingshun narrowed his narrow eyes and said teasingly. Raikage Shun is younger than the 8 Gates Madman, but he has higher strength and status. He is also very arrogant and naturally behaves in a high-profile manner. The 8 Gates Madman was embarrassed and speechless. Madman, what should I say to you? You are the lowest level among the main force, only level 192. If we hadn't arrived just in time and brought a priest with us, you would have lost another level. In August, the World League starts, and there are only less than 2 months left. Now I doubt whether you can reach the full level and become a god before then. If it doesn't work, I will kick you from the first team to the second team, Hokage Kai said depressedly. This kid, like Mizukage Lang, is not a fuel-efficient lamp and is disobedient in various ways. Boss, I realize my mistake. I promise that I will never open the 8 gates again before I become a god. The 8 Gates Madman panicked instantly and said cautiously. In fact, after this battle, he finally woke up and fully understood the difference between God and the Holy King. If he were a god-level powerhouse now and opened the 8 gates, his HP alone would be as high as 9 trillion. In addition, the combat power is also different. As long as you admit your mistake, the price of the 8 gates is too high. The lower limit of the level of the Spirit King is 120, the lower limit of the level of the Immortal King is 150, and the lower limit of the level of the Holy King is 180. Then I believe that the lower limit of the level of God is 200. That is to say, after you become a god at level 200, no matter how you die, you will still be at level 200. When that time comes, I will never say another word to you, Hokage Kai said in a deep voice. The 8 Gates Madman nodded quickly. Hokage Kai did not look at him again, but turned to look at the Wind Shadow Gale and the Water Shadow Wave, and said, which direction did Han Shui and the others go? Water Shadow Wave, the Fallen Angel Empire. Hokage Kai nodded, well, as long as they don't go to our ninja empire to act recklessly, don't worry about them for now. Go back, speed up the level, and reach level 200 to become a god as soon as possible, Madman, especially you. Everyone nodded, especially the 8 Gates Madman, whose attitude was unusually obedient. Haha, the Fallen Angel Empire? That which refused to come down after going to the angel territory. The Senbon Blood Eagles alone can't deal with Han Shui and the others, right? The fallen angels are going to be in trouble, Raikage Shun mocked. That's their own business. Hokage Kai snorted, his tone full of dissatisfaction, as if he had some grudge against the fallen angels. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 602. Hokage Kai has been jealous of angel blood for more than a day or two. After all, angel blood is much stronger than ordinary blood. Ninja is a profession with high plasticity. If you play well, you will be very powerful. Hokage Kai is confident that his main team members, a team of 7 people, are all very powerful. But everyone has only ordinary blood, which lags behind in blood skills. Hokage Kai has been thinking that if everyone has angel blood, the strength will definitely have another huge leap. However, angel blood is something that angels can easily obtain, but ordinary players find it extremely difficult to obtain. Because angels can go to the angel domain to kill angels, and bring back angel blood. For example, the Fallen Angel Alliance has a lot of angel blood. But it is difficult for other players to get angel blood. After all, Angels can hardly be found in the human world of Taegzu now. Hokage once personally negotiated with the demon girl Nanami and proposed to exchange 10 cities for an angel blood, even the lowest level of double-winged angel blood. However, even so, the demon girl refused outright. Hokage was secretly annoyed. The feud between Shinobi and Fallen Angel was born. Even though the World War has started and the internal war should have stopped, Shinobi and Fallen Angel are still fighting each other, and the relationship has not eased at all. What made Hokage most angry was that Fallen Angel did not provide angel blood to Shinobi, but provided angel blood to another major force in the Japanese war zone, Emperor's army, some time ago. Now, Fallen Angel and Emperor's army are about to wear the same pants. Even if he wants to make trouble for Fallen Angel, he needs to think about it first. After a while, Yang Tian and the other 6 people have approached the red dot coordinates of the Fallen Angel Empire. It was a copy mirror, and the copy was called Gonlan Palace. This means that the mythical beast of the Fallen Angel Empire is the Greedy Wolf. The key to Greedy Wolf is the word greed. What he is greedy for is not money, but power. Greedy Wolf is a symbol of power. According to legend, the Greedy Wolf can be transformed into a human form. The higher its power, the stronger its strength. If Greedy Wolf becomes an emperor, its strength will be extraordinary. And the White Tiger is the nemesis of Greedy Wolf. The White Tiger can exorcise evil with divine power. It is the same in Taegzu. The divine power of the White Tiger can cause 10 times the real damage to dark creatures. And Greedy Wolf happens to be a dark creature. In front of the copy mirror of Gonlan Palace, there is nothing. Obviously, not everyone dares to challenge this copy of the beast. Since entering the Japanese war zone, Yang Tian and his 6 companions have been surrounded by Japanese players all the way. When Yang Tian and his 6 companions came here, they didn't know how many Japanese players they had killed. At this time, there was no one in front of the copy mirror, and they were happy to be quiet. System, you found the Tanlang Palace and gained 100,000 experience points. As the system prompt sounded in their ears, Yang Tian and the other 6 entered the dungeon and came to a magnificent palace courtyard. At a glance, there was no one inside, not a single monster, and the portal connecting to the 2nd level was actually open. Is there anyone? Someone came in before us, Huang Mao reacted immediately. Any beast dungeon can accommodate multiple players at the same time, and multiple teams can challenge at the same time. That's really a coincidence. Let's go, hurry up. Yang Tian smiled and ran forward quickly with Huang Mao and the other 5. The first few levels of Tanlang Hall were obviously broken through by outsiders. Yang Tian and the other 6 people were rampant and soon arrived at the boss level. It was a hall of extremely high specifications. At this time, there were hundreds of angels fighting with a pitch-black giant wolf in the hall, and the ground was covered with a large number of angels' corpses. The pitch-black giant wolf was obviously Tanlang. Legend has it that Tanlang can transform into a human form, but it is obvious that Tanlang is more powerful when fighting with its original body. The 100 angels were obviously members of the Fallen Angels, with Senbon Blood Eagle and Senbon Snow Sakura as the leaders. Senbon Blood Eagle was an 8-winged angel, and Senbon Snow Sakura was now promoted to an 8-winged angel, while the rest were 6-winged angels. I didn't expect that the Fallen Angels had such a background. As for the more 4-winged angels and 2-winged angels, they were obviously killed by Greedy Wolf in the battle and became corpses lying on the floor of the hall. Greedy Wolf, Divine Beast. Level 200. HP, 9 trillion/25 trillion. Basic combat power, 200 billion. Maximum combat power, 20 trillion. Skills, Charge, Bloodthirsty, Frenzy, Undercurrent, Undercurrent Surge, Soul Chaser Arrow, Dark Incarnation. Bloodline skills, Powerful, Soul Devouring. Greedy Wolf is about 3 yards tall and 5 yards long, looking both majestic and agile. It has scarlet pupils, sharp eyes, protruding fangs, and a fierce and evil face. Its black fur flows and rolls like black water, like the incarnation of darkness, without a physical body. This means that it is immune to physical attacks. But at this stage, immunity to physical attacks is nothing, and it can be easily dealt with a bottle of magic transformation potion. Roar. The huge size of the greedy wolf seemed to have no effect on its speed. It roared and ran like lightning, leaving black after images wherever it passed. Facing its speed, the angels could not react at all, and angels were constantly killed and fallen. This Tan Lang is the master of the Tan Lang Hall, and to some extent, he is in a high position. The higher the power of Tan Lang, the stronger his strength is, and his attributes are extremely terrifying. It is not much different from the Azure Dragon and the Golden Dragon in the state of Divine Dragon transformation. And he is only the master of the hall. If he is an emperor, it will be even more amazing. However, Tan Lang looks mighty, and he kills 6 winged angels at will, which has a sense of dominating the battlefield. But in fact, he fell below. Any attack of a 6-winged angel hitting him will make him howl in pain, and the blood bar on his head will drop. If the Qianban brothers and sisters attack him, he will only be more seriously injured. At this time, under the joint fire of many angels, the blood bar on his head is less than 1/3. That's the principle. Yang Tian suddenly sighed. Although Tan Lang is strong, he is a dark creature, and angels are very restrained against dark creatures, right? Huang Mao said. That's right. If we don't come, it's only a matter of time for Qianban Blood Eagle and others to kill Tan Lang, Yang Tian said. Angels are easy to fight against dark creatures. But dark creatures are very difficult to fight against angels. Tan Lang can easily kill 6-winged angels in seconds, because 6-winged angels are not at the god level, with only a few 100 million HP, and their lives are too fragile. But it is difficult for Tan Lang to fight against 8-winged angels and Qianban's 2 brothers and sisters. Sorry, the chapter name is wrong, I can't change it today, I will contact the editor to modify it tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 603. Okay, leave Qianban Blood Eagle and others to me. You and Suanwu will deal with Tan Lang together. Yang Tian announced the battle plan. He certainly couldn't deal with Tan Lang by himself, because he could kill Tan Lang in seconds. Xian Yuan sword, the dragon-slaying sword, is the nemesis of all dragons and those with dragon blood. And the white tiger, those with white tiger blood, and the divine power ring are the nemesis of all dark creatures. Now Yang Tian can deal 3.2 trillion damage to a wooden stake with any skill. He has the white tiger blood, and can deal 32 trillion real damage to Tan Lang and dark creatures. In front of Yang Tian, all dark creatures are even more fragile than wooden stakes. Even Tan Lang in his peak state can be killed by Yang Tian in one move, let alone the current Tan Lang with residual blood. But it doesn't make much sense for him to kill Tan Lang, only Huang Mao can kill him, which is a gain. He is not afraid that Huang Mao and others can't beat Tan Lang. After all, Xiao Fei and Qin Yu are both 8-winged angels, and they can beat Tan Lang easily. Roar. Yang Tian summoned 5 bone dragons with a wave of his hand, and they rushed to their targets together with Huang Mao and others. Muddy water. Qianban Shuiying and others were so absorbed in besieging greed that they were shocked when the bone dragons burst into a suppressed roar. Yang Tian waved his hand and did not give them any more time to react. Dark blue flames. 5 huge flames blasted out from 5 different directions, instantly hitting all the enemies, including Greedy Wolf. When the flames dissipated, all the enemy 6-winged angels fell to the ground. At the same time, hundreds of blood balls popped out from the bodies of the 6-winged angels, poured into Yang Tian's body, and formed a scarlet shield on his body surface. The HP of the scarlet shield was not high, only 100 billion. This was obviously because the dark blue flames of the bone dragons did not cause much damage to the six-winged angels, and they barely killed them instantly. It should be noted that bone dragons are also dark creatures, and they cannot exert their power against angels. From common sense, because of the attribute restraint, the holy beast bone dragon is not the opponent of the six-winged angel at all, but the six-winged angel player is different. The six-winged angel NPC is completely different from the six-winged angel player. The six-winged angel NPC has at least 400 billion HP, while the six-winged angel player has only a few hundred million HP. The gap between them is really too big. So, it is true that players are ants before they become gods. 5 bone dragons focused their fire at the same time, instantly killing hundreds of six-winged angel players. But Qianben Blood Eagle, Qianben Snow Sakura, and Greedy Wolf were almost not hurt. Because of the attribute restraint, it is normal that the bone dragon cannot beat the 8-winged angel. Because of the realm suppression, the bone dragon naturally cannot beat Greedy Wolf. After all, Yang Tian's white tiger bloodline cannot be inherited by the undead under his command. However, 5 bone dragons killed hundreds of six-winged angels in seconds, which is a good start for Yang Tian. After all, Yang Tian himself is also a dark creature, and even if a group of six-winged angels focus their fire, he can hardly bear it. Undead sacrifice. At this time, the 5 bone dragons were no longer useful. Yang Tian waved his hand and sacrificed them all, adding up their total lives and converting them into his own shield. Bone Shield 400 billion lives, Scarlet Shield 100 billion lives, Sacrifice Shield 2.5 trillion lives. At this time, Yang Tian had 3 shields on his body, with a total life of 3 trillion. Just as Huang Mao and others and Suanhui rushed towards Tan Lang, Yang Tian also took the initiative to rush towards Qianben and his sister. He mainly stopped Qianben and his sister from continuing to attack Tan Lang. Of course, it would be better to kill them. Muddy Water, I have to say that you are really brave. You dare to invade my great Japan war zone with only a few people. Qianben Blood Eagle narrowed his eyes and stared at Yang Tian with hatred. He still remembered that he was defeated by Yang Tian about a month ago. In his opinion, he lost to Yang Tian last time just because he didn't know enough about the Scarlet Shield. After communicating with God's left hand, he knew that Yang Tian's Scarlet Shield was a blood-sucking shield, which was converted into a shield by dealing damage and sucking blood. The higher the total damage dealt, the higher the shield HP. Last time, Yang Tian had a wave of corpse explosions, and the Scarlet Shield formed was extremely powerful. But this time, because of the attribute restraint, the 5 bone dragons only barely killed 100 six-winged angels in 1 second, and the total damage caused was not high. At the same time, Yang Tian's shield should not be powerful. Now Xueying and I are both 8-winged angels, and Han Shui is a dark system. Without a powerful blood-sucking shield, we will definitely die. Qianben Blood Eagle was mysteriously confident, staring at Yang Tian with eyes full of desire for revenge. Don't brag, how many decent strong men can you have in the Japanese war zone? At least I don't take you 2 brothers and sisters seriously. Yang Tian stretched lazily and said teasingly. How dare you? Looking for death? Yang Tian's casual and contemptuous attitude instantly angered the Qianben brothers and sisters, and they cursed. Armor-piercing arrows. Multiple arrows. Qianben Xueying suddenly drew her bow and shot continuously. And Qianben Blood Eagle rushed out with a sword. Yang Tian's eyes were stern, and he turned around and dodged 2 arrows in succession. At this time, Qianben Blood Eagle rushed over, and the giant sword in his hand slashed at Yang Tian's head, heavy blow. Sister Qianben Xueying attacked at the same time, rain of arrows. Stand still like a mountain. Yang Tian suddenly stopped, and a golden and red hegemonic light instantly appeared on his body. Duan, Duan, Duan arrows rained down. Bang! The giant sword of Qianban Blood Eagle also slammed on Yang Tian's head. However, Yang Tian's body did not move despite such a fierce attack, but the white bar of the shield dropped by 600 billion life. As expected of an 8-winged angel, the dual restraint of realm and attribute is really no joke. Yang Tian was secretly shocked. He could obviously avoid it with flash just now, but he wanted to try whether he could withstand the attack of the 8-winged angel in the hegemonic state. After all, the so-called combat experience is also gained through fighting. If you don't try, how can you know yourself and the enemy? Compared with Yang Tian, Qianban and his sister were more shocked. The two 8-winged angels joined forces, but they couldn't kill a Dark Holy King in seconds. This was simply a slap in the face. Lion's roar. After withstanding the attacks of the Qianban brothers and sisters, Yang Tian suddenly roared, and a lion phantom appeared behind him, roaring at the same time. The furious roar turned into a golden sound wave visible to the naked eye, sweeping out in all directions, instantly stunning the Qianban brothers and sisters. Because of the suppression of the realm, Yang Tian could only stun the Qianban brothers and sisters for half a second at most. Dragon transformation. Shocking the mountains and forests. Without the extremely strong scarlet shield, facing two 8-winged angels at the same time, Yang Tian did not dare to neglect it, and directly opened up his horsepower, instantly soaring his combat power to the extreme. Undead transformation, Netherworld assassin. Shadow attack. Yang Tian suddenly rushed out and slashed the Qianban Blood Eagle with a knife, knocking off 1/3 of its health. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 604. Yang Tian knocked down half of the blood of Qianban Shuiying with one knife, and triggered the passive of shadow attack at the same time. Yang Tian suddenly rushed to the back of Qianban Shuiying at a speed second only to teleportation, and left a series of black after images wherever he passed. The damage deepened. Yang Tian snapped his fingers, causing Qianban Shuiying to explode. Backstab. At the same time, the dagger in Yang Tian's hand pierced Qianban Shuiying's back, triple back attack, and killed her instantly. Yang Tian completed the whole set of actions in just a moment, a model of violent aesthetics and gorgeous flow. Bang bang! Qianban's two brothers and sisters fell to the ground almost at the same time. I'm afraid they didn't expect that Yang Tian's damage would be so terrifying. What about the dual suppression of attributes and realms? Yang Tian killed all the angels in the dungeon in a few moves. At the same time, Huang Mao and others also beat Tan Lang to residual blood, and finally Huang Mao took Tan Lang away. So far, Yang Tian and the other 6 people successfully passed the Tan Lang Palace dungeon. But it was not the first kill, and Tan Lang did not reveal Tan Lang blood. It seems that the first kill of this copy was taken by the people of Fallen Angel a month ago, or even earlier. Yang Tian walked over and smiled. Ye Huang Mao nodded, and did not care too much. Whether it was the first kill of the beast, he did not care, as long as he could kill the beast himself. Did you find that this Tan Lang is actually very strong? Yang Tian smiled. Yes, this Tan Lang is not much inferior to the Azure Dragon and the Golden Dragon in the state of the Dragon transformation, but it is dark attribute, and our angels are easy to beat, Xiao Fei said. Yang Tian smiled. In fact, this Tan Lang is only at the level of the Hall Master, and his power is not too high. If it is an Emperor level Tan Lang, or an Emperor level player with Tan Lang blood, it will be even more terrifying. Of course, no matter how powerful Tan Lang is, or the Tan Lang blood, Yang Tian is not afraid. Just kidding, he has the blood of the White Tiger, and it is a ghost to be afraid of Tan Lang. Next, Yang Tian and others began to clean up the spoils. Although the greedy wolf did not explode with blood, it also exploded with 2 skill books, Soul Chasing Arrow and Dark Avatar. As mentioned earlier, the Soul Chasing Arrow is the final skill of the Undead Mage at level 200. It is used after chanting for 5 seconds. The single target damage is extremely high, and it can also turn until it hits the enemy. Yang Tian has the dark affinity of the Lich King and can instantly cast the soul-chasing arrow. The power is simply unimaginable. The Dark Avatar is a rare skill of the Undead Mage and has no level limit. It is a status skill. After using it, it can turn into a dark element, immune to physical damage, lasting for 10 seconds, and cooling for 1 minute. The two skill books belong to Yang Tian, and Yang Tian directly learned the Dark Avatar. This Dark Avatar is useless in outdoor PK since the launch of Taegzu, who among the current high-end players does not carry a magic transformation potion. However, it is useful in the PK field, and it will be useful in the upcoming domestic qualifiers and World League. Because the PK field cannot use consumables, naturally, magic conversion potions cannot be used. In other words, physical immunity is still desirable, and it is also very useful when fighting wild boss. After all, boss does not have magic conversion potions. 10 minutes later, Yang Tian's dragon transformation, the mighty mountain forest, cooled down again. Suan Wu's divine turtle protection cooled down again. At this time, Yang Tian led the team to exit the dungeon. No one? I thought Qian Ben and his team would squat outside the dungeon for us, Huang Mao said with some disappointment. At that time, in the dungeon, Yang Tian killed Qian Ben's two brothers and sisters in seconds, and their team was wiped out. If they were all wiped out, it would naturally be a challenge failure, and they would be asked to leave the dungeon by the system and lose 30% of the current level of experience. But their team had thousands of people, all of whom were angels. Yang Tian and others had a premonition that they would squat outside the dungeon, so Yang Tian and others stayed in the dungeon for 10 more minutes, waiting for Yang Tian Suan Wu's skills to refresh. Who would have thought that Qian Ben and his team didn't choose to wait? Tisk, the little Japanese are still cowards. Thousands of angels don't dare to confront us head-on, Huang Mao mocked. Haha, several people laughed wildly. Immediately, Yang Tian and his 6 people set off again and headed for the second empire in the Japanese war zone, the Imperial Empire. It was not until Yang Tian and his 6 people flew away for a while that Qian Ben and his team appeared from the shadows nearby. Their team really had thousands of people, and they were all angels. Brother, why are you hiding from them? Muddy Waters is very strong, but didn't we just attack together and knock down 1/5 of his shield? If thousands of us focus our fire, we can kill them in an instant. Look at how arrogant they are. Seeing them acting recklessly in our Japanese war zone, aren't you angry? Qian Ben Shuiying said angrily, and she was merciless when she scolded her brother. Facing her sister's questioning, Qian Ben Shuiying had a calm face. I just got the news that the monster war pet under Han Shui's command is the mythical beast Suan Wu. In the battle in the Spiral Sea, Yang Tian and the other 6 people and Suan Wu defeated many Japanese strongmen and showed their power. That news has long been spread to every corner of the Japanese war zone. At that time, Suan Wu also used the divine turtle to protect and showed his power. Now Qian Ben Blood Eagle has also received the news, so he patiently explained it to his sister and many strong men under his command. Now you understand, that Suan Wu can summon a huge phantom of a divine turtle to cover Han Shui and others. At that time, Han Shui and others will be immune to all attacks, only Suan Wu will be attacked, and Suan Wu's defense is extremely terrifying. If we start a war, we will be wiped out again, and we will become the laughing stock of Han Shui and others again, Qian Ben Shuiying said with indignation. Qian Ben Shuiying and many angels under his command had already been stunned. Alas, after all, our overall strength is still too weak. If there were more 8-winged angels, we would have won just now. Qian Ben Shuiying sighed silently, with a melancholy face. He knew that Yang Tian was now level 198 and was about to become a god. Now he couldn't defeat Yang Tian, couldn't take revenge, and wash away the shame. When Yang Tian became a god in the future, he would have no chance. By then, let alone me, even if the leader of the alliance came in person, I'm afraid I might not be able to get the upper hand. Qianben Shuiying sighed secretly. It was late at night again. Before Yang Tian and his 6 companions arrived at the Heavenly Empire, Huang Mao asked for a midnight snack, so everyone went offline. Several people had already regarded the game as their work, or even their career. Since it is a work and career, there will naturally be times when they are tired, and it is indeed necessary to take a proper rest. In reality, in a private room at a midnight barbecue restaurant, Huang Mao treated everyone to a table full of seafood barbecue and several bottles of beer. In addition to Yang Tian and Huang Mao, Xiaofei Langling was also present at this offline midnight party. As for Long Lu and Qin Yu, they were no longer in the same city as the 4 of them. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 605. Tian'er, where were you at this time yesterday? Was it really a midnight snack, or did you go to deal with the Zerg? The yellow-haired guy's alcohol tolerance was really not very good. Yang Tian, Xiaofei Langling and the other 2 had just drank a few glasses to rinse their mouths, and the guy was already tongue-tied and talking nonsense. Hearing this, Xiaofei Langling was immediately stunned. They didn't understand what Zerg meant at all. Yang Tian curled his lips. Fortunately, there were no outsiders here, so he didn't hide anything and told many things. He thought that it would be better to let Xiaofei Langling and the other 2 know earlier and prepare early. Yang Tian spoke intermittently for 3 hours, and just gave a general idea, and Xiaofei Langling was already stunned. The yellow-haired guy also listened attentively and sobered up a little. Brother Shui, this kind of thing is too unbelievable, right? Xiaofei trembled and raised the wine glass to his mouth, but it spilled all over him. Yang Tian was helpless. No matter who it was, it would be hard to believe it at the first time. So, Yang Tian directly transformed into a netherworld assassin and gave a straightforward proof. Xiaofei and Langling were stunned for a moment. Well, if that's the case, Taixu will be shut down for another year, and then everyone will awaken, and the Zerg may invade the Earth at any time. Are these all true? Xiaofei was extremely shocked. That's right, so we can't just treat Taixu as a simple game, because that's the way for us to become stronger. There's still one last year, and we must try our best to rush to the finish line. Alas, it's a pity that Qin Yu is not here. I should tell him this, so that he won't be idle every day and have no motivation. Yang Tian sighed. I'll tell him when I have a chance. I think he will jump up in shock, Langling said. Yeah. Yang Tian nodded and got back to the point. At this time yesterday, I had a midnight snack, but it was fake, and I killed a group of blacklisters. Damn, those blacklisters really deserve to die. Several people were indignant. Brother Shui, have you joined the alliance too? Xiaofei asked. No, Yang Tian shook his head. Then how did you become an awakener? And how do you know these things so clearly? Xiaofei asked. I have someone over there, Yang Tian said. Who? Everyone was stunned. My wife Lu Yan is very beautiful. I will introduce her to you in a year. Yang Tian smiled happily. Everyone laughed. At this time, Huang Mao took another sip. Yang Tian naturally knew what the boy was thinking. He patted his shoulder and smiled. How about you? How is your relationship with Shuangro? Huang Mao remained silent. Where is Ziyan? Yang Tian immediately changed another one. No news. I couldn't find her for several years. It's like she suddenly got the news. Huang Mao's eyes were red and he looked depressed. Everyone was stunned and didn't say much. They changed the topic and continued to drink and chat. They seemed to have completely forgotten that Long Lu and Qin Yu were still waiting for them in the game. Just when Yang Tian and the other 4 were drinking and having fun, the Japanese war zone had already been in turmoil, and many Japanese websites and forums had already been flooded. 10,000 people wrote in blood to request Hokage Kai, Raikage Shun, Miyamoto Takeshi, Big Boss Ludo, Witch Nanami, Senbon Blood Eagle and other super strong men to personally go out and kill Han Shui and others. After all, it is too embarrassing to be beaten into the nest and not be punished. You should know that some overseas netizens will also browse Japanese websites. The fact that Yang Tian and others made a big fuss in the Japanese war zone has already caused turmoil in the world. And the most popular ones are naturally Chinese netizens. Brother Shui is awesome. Shui Meng is awesome. Brother Shui v5. Shui Meng v5. I really want to see Brother Shui and his men wreak havoc in the Japanese war zone, beat up many Japanese warriors, and show off their might. Yeah, is there any Japanese friend who can do a live broadcast to film it? Do you believe it will go viral? You can't understand the traffic of our Greater China. 666. A group of Chinese netizens who are not afraid of trouble went to a Japanese forum to post a post mocking and showing off, which immediately made many Japanese netizens extremely angry. As for this incident, the super strong men of shinobi such as Hokage Kai and Raikage Shun did not respond. Instead, the people of Emperor's army and Fallen Angel made a clear response, threatening to fight endlessly with Yang Tian and others. In fact, Emperor's army and Fallen Angel have already formed an alliance and put on the same pants. The two brothers and sisters of Qianben contacted the top leaders of the Emperor and went to negotiate in person, and the reception was a young swordsman. This man was wearing a yellow robe, standing with a sword on his back, with a handsome and strange face, especially a pair of eyes that kept flashing with greed. This man was the head of the Emperor, Miyamoto Takeshi, and also the owner of the Blood of the Greedy Wolf. The grudge between the shinobi and the fallen angels was not a new thing in the Japanese war zone. And the overall strength of the shinobi was even stronger than that of the fallen angels. The fallen angels had to ask for external aid, and the external aid was the Emperor's army. And the fallen angels wanted to form an alliance with the Emperor, and they also paid a great price, that is, the unique angel blood and greedy wolf blood in their alliance. Brother Wu. Seeing Miyamoto Takeshi personally greet them, the two brothers and sisters of Qianben hurriedly greeted them, and then Qianben Blood Eagle greeted them. Miyamoto Takeshi said proudly, "I would rather hear you call me the leader, or the leader of the alliance, Miyamoto. Forget about the witch, you, Qianben Blood Eagle, are just a deputy ally." Looking at Miyamoto Takeshi, whose temperament has changed greatly compared to before, with evil eyes and domineering aura, Qianben Blood Eagle was suddenly startled. It must be said that this blood of the greedy wolf is really domineering and can make the owner's mind change greatly even in the game. If Miyamoto Takeshi awakens a year later, it will be even more extraordinary in reality. "Why, don't you want to?" Miyamoto Takeshi glanced at him, extremely sharp. "No." Miyamoto leader. The two brothers and sisters of Qianben were shocked instantly. "Ha ha ha." Miyamoto Takeshi laughed wildly and said casually, "I already know your intentions. Don't worry, as long as Han Shui and others appear again, I will personally kill them." Miyamoto Takeshi seemed extremely confident. After all, the higher the power of the greedy wolf or the greedy wolf bloodline, the stronger the strength. And Miyamoto Takeshi is the leader of the Emperor's Legion and the Emperor of the Emperor's Empire. In the game alone, his power has reached the limit and his strength is extraordinary. Although he is only a Saint King, he can easily beat a god-level warrior. His abnormal strength is probably not much less than Yang Tian. Even that is based on the fact that Yang Tian is a human king and has a 100 blood-sucking staff. Unfortunately, he didn't know that Yang Tian has the blood of the white tiger, which is his nemesis. "Well, thank you, Alliance leader Miyamoto." The two brothers and sisters nodded repeatedly. They naturally understood how terrible Miyamoto Takeshi's strength is now. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 606. It was not until the next morning that Yang Tian and his 4 companions dispersed. Huang Mao was already drunk. Yang Tian first sent Huang Mao home, then took a taxi back and fell asleep on the bed. It was late at night again before Yang Tian got up and went online to join everyone. Huang Mao, Xiaofei, Lang Ling, and the other 2 had just come online, while Long Lu and Qin Yu had basically not gone offline. It's been a day and a night, and you guys are so cool. Long Lu shook his head and was unable to complain. Yang Tian and Huang Mao laughed awkwardly to resolve the embarrassment. Immediately, Yang Tian and his companions set off again. After arriving at the Emperor of Heaven, they headed towards the red dot coordinates of the Empire. Look, it's Han Shui and his companions. They actually came to our Emperor of Heaven, looking for death. Contact the Emperor's Legion. In order to save time, Yang Tian and his companions did not keep a low profile, but flew openly. When they arrived at the Emperor's Empire and flew over it, they were so blatant that they were immediately discovered by countless Japanese players. Even some powerful people above the Spirit King level followed them directly. Yang Tian and his men made a big fuss in the Japanese war zone and killed countless Japanese strongmen. Now all Japanese players have a deep understanding of the strength of Yang Tian and his men. Those powerful people above the Spirit King level did not dare to take action, but just followed behind. They only needed to follow to continuously provide the masters of the Emperor's Legion with the movements of Yang Tian and his men. They did not dare to take action against Yang Tian and his men, but the Emperor's Legion dared. As time passed, more and more Japanese strongmen gathered behind Yang Tian and his men. There are more and more flies. Do you want to clean them up first? Huang Mao looked back and frowned while flying. Hearing this, Yang Tian snapped his fingers without looking back. Summon the Bone Dragon. Under Yang Tian's control, the 5 bone dragons turned at the same time, opened their mouths and spit out dark blue flames to blast the Japanese warriors behind. 5 huge dark blue flames swept past, causing large-scale casualties, and countless screams followed. It is worth mentioning that Yang Tian and his men will not increase their sin value or red name when they kill Japanese warriors, but will gain military merit instead. It's just that Yang Tian and his men are all imperial marshals, so they don't need military merit anymore. There are many players in the Japanese war zone, and the Heavenly Empire and the Fallen Angel Empire have already formed an alliance. In other words, the 2 empires are interconnected. Even players from the Fallen Angel Empire can use the teleportation stone to teleport here. This results in Yang Tian and his men attracting a new wave of enemies every time they go to a new place. Even though Yang Tian keeps sending 5 bone dragons to clean up, he can't kill them all. They are really hard to deal with. Xiao Fei frowned and said, he even killed some Japanese warriors himself. But it was still useless. The other party was stubborn and was not afraid of death, loss of level and equipment. This is related to national honor. What do you think? Huang Mao laughed. It's okay. They have to pay some price to follow us, and there is no loss to us. Anyway, we are fearless. Yang Tian waved his hand and led the team forward. Only the 5 bone dragons under his command occasionally turned around and sprayed blue flames to kill a group of pursuers in seconds. Haven't the people of the Emperor's army come yet? Our casualties are already great enough. That muddy water is too scary, a late-stage necromancer. The attack of the 5 bone dragons under his command, unless it is a god-level strongman, no one can withstand it. A group of Japanese strongmen suffered heavy losses and complained bitterly. At the same time, they kept contacting and urging the Emperor's army and the fallen angels. The Emperor's army. At this time, Miyamoto Takeshi and Senmito, the 2 brothers and sisters, the 3 strong men gathered together. Suddenly, a thick pure white beam of light fell from the sky. When the light dissipated, a figure emerged. The man looked to be in his 30s, with a rough face, small eyes, flat nose, thick lips, and a full beard. He looked like a wretched uncle, which was very inconsistent with the eight-winged angel behind him. This man was the second in command of the Emperor's army, Big Brother Luo, who was extremely powerful and only second to Miyamoto Takeshi in status. He had 8 wings of angels behind him, and had just descended from the angel domain, which meant that he was an 8-winged angel. At the same time, he was also the only master of light at present. I understand the matter, it's just a small matter. Awu, why don't you rush to the God realm and get involved? Big Brother Luo looked at Miyamoto Takeshi and frowned. Big Brother Luo's attitude was frivolous, but Miyamoto Takeshi was not angry. The blood of the greedy wolf changed his mind, but did not lower his IQ. He also admired the strong people around him who could be used by him. And in his opinion, Big Brother Luo was not an ordinary strong man, at least much stronger than the 2 brothers and sisters of Qianben. No, it's Muddy Waters and the others who are too arrogant. Miyamoto Takeshi smiled evilly, you know my character. I only have dignity and status, and I won't tolerate anyone provoking me. Big Brother Luo nodded and said no more. Miyamoto Takeshi was originally an emperor, otherwise he would not want to follow, and the blood of the greedy wolf only strengthened his ambition and made him more wild and domineering. Of course, he didn't know that the blood of the greedy wolf could change a person's character. He just felt that Miyamoto Takeshi had suddenly grown up and become more like a ruler. Okay, Lao Luo is here now, let's go. Miyamoto Takeshi waved his hand, and the 4 of them turned into white light and fled together. They naturally knew the movements of Yang Tian and his men long ago, and now they teleported to the city near Yang Tian and his men. Afterwards, they chased after Yang Tian and his men. That's right, there were only 4 of them, an emperor-level greedy wolf bloodline, and 3 8-winged angels. This was obviously the instruction of Miyamoto Takeshi, who was confident and arrogant enough. In addition, he also knew that Yang Tian and his men were strong enough, and it was no different for ordinary strong men to come and die. Finally, in the Japanese war zone, the Empire of Heaven, and the sky above Sakura City, the 2 armies met. Finally, many Japanese strongmen chasing soldiers smiled with relief, and then quickly distanced themselves from Yang Tian and his men. Next, they can retire after their success, and let Miyamoto Takeshi and his men deal with Yang Tian and his men. They can stay far away and just watch the battle. As the news spread rapidly, countless white lights descended in Sakura City in an instant. Many players in the Empire of Heaven and the Fallen Angel Empire teleported to watch the battle, looking excited. Wow, Miyamoto Takeshi, Big Boss Luo actually came out in person. The strongest team in the Chinese theater vs the strongest team in our Japanese theater, there is no doubt that this is a world-class duel. The strongest team in Japan? Do you think the ninja team is not a human being? Besides, even so, the demon girl Nanami didn't fight. Okay, we are all subjects of the Emperor, so don't fight among ourselves, okay? What's wrong with the demon girl not coming? Isn't Miyamoto Takeshi strong enough? Isn't Big Boss Luo strong enough? Aren't the 2 brothers and sisters of Senbon strong enough? Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 607. Strong, too strong. It is said that Han Shui is a level 198 Saint King and the Lord of the Undead, but the brothers and sisters, Luo and Qianben, are both 8-winged angels, and their realm attributes restrain him. The key is that Luo is the Lord of Light, so it is probably not restrained, but crushing. Haha, they are arrogant and reckless in my Great Japan War Zone. Today they will be put to death. It's really refreshing. In Sakura City, countless Japanese players talked about it and pointed out Zhongshan. They all looked forward to Miyamoto Takeshi and others, and looked down on Yang Tian and others. What's more, as if they had seen the scene of Yang Tian and others being beaten, they laughed heartily. Above Sakura City, the members of the 2 teams were looking at each other. It was a small fight before, and now the main course is finally here. Obviously, they are one of the strongest teams in Japan, and they are not the best lineup, Yang Tian said. Huang Mao Xiaofei and others all nodded. They were quite afraid of Miyamoto Takeshi and Big Brother Luo, and they did not look down on the two brothers and sisters of Qianben. Both of the two brothers and sisters of Qianben were eight-winged angels, so even Yang Tian needed to use all his strength. Yang Tian was the ultimate trump card of the Water Alliance, and the person he needed to deal with all his strength must be a strong person. At this time, Yang Tian used the Eye of Truth, and his eyes swept over Miyamoto Takeshi and Big Brother Luo respectively. Greedy Wolf Bloodline? So that's it. After learning that Miyamoto Takeshi was the owner of Greedy Wolf Bloodline, Yang Tian nodded suddenly, as if he suddenly understood something. In Yang Tian's view, the first kill of Greedy Wolf Hall must have been taken by Fallen Angel. And the strong men in Fallen Angel almost all have angel bloodline, and angel bloodline cannot be changed. So Fallen Angel does not need Greedy Wolf bloodline at all, and can only give it to others. And Fallen Angel gave Greedy Wolf bloodline to Miyamoto Takeshi, probably because of the Emperor and the Angel Alliance. Yang Tian's eyes stayed on Miyamoto Takeshi for a moment, then moved away. Yang Tian has the blood of the White Tiger, so no matter how strong Miyamoto Takeshi is, he can easily crush him. In this case, why should he care too much? Yang Tian paid more attention to the big boss Luo, who was both an eight-winged angel and the master of light, and was one of the existences he feared the most. Just as Yang Tian and his friends were looking at Miyamoto Takeshi and others, the other party was also looking at them at the same time. At this time, Miyamoto Takeshi and his four friends paid more attention to the Suanwu who was taking a nap on Yang Tian's head. Is that the Suanwu beast? The only divine beast war pet at present. I have to say that Han Shui is really lucky. Miyamoto Takeshi stared at Suanwu with a solemn look. Well, the defense of Suanwu is extremely abnormal, and it can also summon the phantom of the divine turtle. When the phantom of the divine turtle exists and covers Han Shui and others, Han Shui and others are immune to all attacks, and all attacks are borne by Suanwu, which is very difficult. And as far as I know, the phantom of the divine turtle summoned by Suanwu can only last for 1 minute, Qianben Blood Eagle said continuously. In this case, just trick out the phantom of the divine turtle first, right? Leave it to me. Big Brother Luo smiled casually. He looked wretched, and he looked even more wretched when he smiled. Above Sakura City, the two teams stood opposite each other, and the atmosphere was extremely depressing. For the countless Japanese players watching the game below, every second was extremely long, and they were anxious and uncomfortable waiting. Why don't you start fighting? Finally someone couldn't help but speak out. There are really many coincidences in the world. Just as the man finished speaking, someone in the sky finally took action. Big Boss Luo casually snapped his fingers and lit up a summoning array in front of him. Immediately, an eight-winged angel holding a big sword emerged from the summoning array. The Lord of Light is obviously also a summoning profession, and the summoned creature is an angel. The eight-winged angel is the realm of God. Big Boss Luo has reached the realm of God and can summon 5 eight-winged angels, namely the eight-winged angel warrior, the eight-winged angel mage, the eight-winged angel assassin, the eight-winged angel archer, and the eight-winged angel priest. 506 winged angels can be summoned, 100 for each profession. 2,504 winged angels can be summoned, 500 for each profession. 5,002 winged angels can be summoned, 100 for each profession. Of course, Big Boss Luo needs to learn the corresponding skills before he can summon them. Killing an angel will have a chance to explode the corresponding skill book. Emperor Legion and Fallen Angel formed an alliance not long ago, which was more than half a month ago. At that time, Big Brother Luo had just obtained the angel bloodline and became an angel. He had been in the angel domain for nearly half a month. Now, he can only summon an 8-winged angel warrior. As for 6-winged angels, he can summon many. The summoned creature is not a player, not an NPC, and not even a monster. The summoned creature is a special existence. No matter how high the realm is, the IQ is very low, and it can't speak human language. Only when the master constantly controls them with thoughts can they make reasonable judgments and actions, otherwise they will rush to the nearest target and randomly output and use skills. Kill it for me. Big Brother Lugo waved the staff in his hand, and the eight-winged angel warrior rushed out with a sword. Eight-winged angel summon? Leave it to me. Xiao Fei knew that the other party was just testing and wanted to trick Suanwu's divine turtle protection, so he took the initiative to fight. Both sides are eight-winged angels, and their combat power attributes should be similar. But Xiao Fei was confident that he could crush the eight-winged angel warrior because he had a purple Dochi Lotus that could increase his damage by 8 times and his defense by 8 times. So, above the sky, the two eight-winged angels rushed out to each other. Their speed was so fast that they crushed the air, and white air waves were everywhere they passed, causing many spectators below to scream. Just as the two sides were about to collide, Yang Tian suddenly waved his hand and summoned a bone wall in front of Xiao Fei. Heavy hit. Bang. The eight-winged angel warrior suddenly roared, and chopped the bone wall with a sword, causing a violent shock wave to sweep around, shocking Xiao Fei back. After Xiao Fei stabilized, he looked confused, and he did not understand Yang Tian's behavior. On the other side, the big boss Lugo laughed out loud. Haha, you are worthy of being the master of the undead, you have a deep understanding of summons. Xiao Fei was startled. Only then did he remember that the summons were blessed by the attributes of their masters, with armor penetration and critical hits. If the attributes of the summoned creature are consistent with its master, the master's attributes will be enhanced. Typical representatives are the Necromancer, the Lord of the Dead, and the Lord of Light. Necromancer and the Lord of the Dead are dark attributes, summoning dark creatures. The Lord of Light is light attribute, summoning light creatures. Other summoning professions are basically unable to increase their own attributes for the summoned creatures under their command. Boss Lugo is a god-level strongman. His armor penetration, critical hit damage, and light intensity are obviously extremely high. The eight-winged angel warrior is blessed with these attributes, and his combat power is extremely terrifying, which cannot be compensated by a fighting spirit at all. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 608. At this thought, Xiaofei's heart suddenly became cold. He suddenly understood that if Brother Shui hadn't come to the rescue just now, he would probably be a corpse now. After the boss Lugo sneered, he once again manipulated the eight-winged angel warriors to attack Yang Tian and others. The purpose was to force out Suanwu's turtle guardian. At the same time, the boss Lugo is also very confident. No one except Suanwu can withstand the combat power of his eight-winged angel warriors. Haha, Suanwu doesn't have to summon the phantom of the turtle, but in that case you will die, boss Lugo sneered in his heart. At this moment, the eight-winged angel warrior had rushed over quickly and entered Yang Tian's killing line. Powerful mountains and forests. Bone spear. Yang Tian suddenly shot out a bone spear, piercing the body of the eight-winged angel warrior, causing more than 300 billion damage to him, and the health bar above his head dropped by more than 1/10. Boss Lugo was shocked. Although Yang Tian failed to kill the eight-winged angel warrior instantly, the damage Yang Tian dealt was enough to surprise him. He is only in the realm of the Holy King. Under the double restraint of realm and attributes, he should not be able to hit the eight-winged angel. Why is his damage so high? Boss Lugo exclaimed, already losing his composure. On the side, the Qianben brothers and sisters shook their heads secretly. Muddy Water's combat power was so high that he could kill himself instantly, let alone your summons. Your summons will enhance your attributes, and it is true that you have strong combat power, but your summons do not enhance your defense. Your summons do not even have fighting spirit, so how can you resist it? The damage deepens. I saw the wound pierced by the bone spear on the chest of the eight-winged angel warrior instantly expanded tenfold. The eight-winged angel warrior once again received more than 3 trillion damage, and exploded to death instantly, turning into dots and scattered in the air. Boss Logo was stunned. The Kanban brothers and sisters looked solemn. Countless Japanese spectators below screamed in surprise, and the whole place was in an uproar. Hey, is Muddy Waters really just the Holy King realm? Even if the attributes are restrained, killing a god is still like killing a dog. This guy is so scary, why isn't he Japanese? Below, countless Japanese players were discussing. Yang Tian's combat prowess and strength were unbelievable to them. Yang Tian's maximum combat power is 2,500 trillion, ranking first in the world's combat power list, and proud of the world. The second in the world's combat power list, the demon Nanami, has a maximum combat power of 64 trillion, which can't even catch up with him. However, in everyone's eyes, Yang Tian's combat power is illusory, and his ranking at the top of the combat power list is also illusory. It was just created by his corpse explosion. Who doesn't know now that the Necromancer's corpse explosion is the most explosive skill? Yang Tian was nothing more than a Necromancer, which was just a summoning profession. Except for the corpse explosion, everyone thought that his combat power was average. Even if Yang Tian slaughtered hundreds of divine beasts and became famous all over the world, everyone still thought that it was because of his strong overall strength, and in the end he still used corpse explosion and damage amplification to kill the divine beasts. Who would have thought that even if Yang Tian didn't use corpse explosions, his combat power would still be terrifyingly high? Yang Tian easily killed the eight-winged angel warrior in an instant, causing countless spectators below to scream. At the same time, some spectators booed the Boss Logo. This immediately made Boss Logo look ugly. He waved his staff and once again summoned 100 seraphim. All those 100 seraphs are archers. Gather the fire and shoot for me, Boss Logo ordered, and hundreds of seraph archers gathered fire on the spot. Although these are all six-winged angels, in the realm of the Holy King, because they are blessed by the attributes of the Boss Logo, their combat power is very terrifying, probably even more powerful than the ordinary eight-winged angels. Facing that kind of concentrated fire, Yang Tian and the others couldn't bear it at all, so Yang Tian decisively gave the order. Roar! Suanhui roared suddenly, summoned the phantom of the turtle, and covered the 6 Yang Tian people. Ping 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 pong. Hundreds of seraph archers focused their fire at the same time. After countless arrows came into contact with the phantom of the turtle, they suddenly disappeared without any further effect. Suanhui suffered all the damage alone, and instantly, the health bar above its head dropped by 1%. Kill them all in 1 minute, Yang Tian gave the order, and everyone, together with Suanhui, rushed forward. The phantom of the divine turtle moved with Suanhui's movement, always protecting the 6 Yang Tian people. Retreat, wait until the ghost of the turtle disappears, and we will take action. The Boss Logo suddenly became the leader of the team. With a wave of his hand, the 4 of them retreated frantically. Hundreds of seraph archers concentrated fire at the same time, and Suanhui only lost 1% of his health. Now the Boss Logo has a deep understanding of the power of Suanhui defense. He had no confidence that he could kill Suanhui in a short time. Therefore, they can only wait until the duration of the turtle's guardianship ends. The 4 bosses, Logo, quickly retreated, while the 100 seraph archers stayed in place. In the eyes of Boss Logo, they are just cannon fodder. The meaning of Boss Logo summoning them is to force out Suanhui's turtle guardian and intercept Yang Tian and others for 1 minute. They only need to drag Suanhui's turtles until their shadows disappear, and their merits will be considered complete. Gravity. Boss Logo controlled hundreds of seraphim archers and deliberately separated them. But it had no effect. Qin Yu used gravity and gathered 100 seraph archers into a ball in less than 3 seconds. The undead transforms into a bone dragon. Blue flame. Yang Tian spewed out flames, and blasted out wildly, instantly killing 106 winged angel archers. His big brother Luo took a breath of cold air, and in an instant, his head was as big as a bucket. He chanted in succession, summoning 106 winged angel warriors again, and ordered them to rush up to resist. These 106 winged angel warriors still stood separately. "Everyone, come together above the sky," the bone dragon transformed by Yang Tian spoke human words. The 106 winged angel warriors stood very far apart. Without the help of Qin Yu's gravity, Yang Tian could not kill them quickly alone, so he called Huang Mao Xiaofei and others to attack together. Dragon breath. Sweeping thousands of troops. Sky-high fire pillars. Heaven and earth collapsing. Thousand shadows ultimate kill. Boom, boom, boom. Except for Long Lu, Yang Tian, and Huang Mao's 5 people each attacked, starting with a big move. After a wave of wild bombardment, countless 6-winged angel warriors exploded and died. The 6-winged angels summoned by Big Brother Luo are not players, so their HP will not be suppressed by the system. They all have half a trillion HP. Because of the attributes of Big Brother Luo, their combat power has skyrocketed. A random wave of concentrated fire can reduce the health bar above the head of Suan Wu by 1%. But their defense has not increased at all, and they don't even have fighting spirit. In short, their defense is not strong. And Yang Tian and his friends, except Long Lu, all have the combat power of killing gods, so it is easy to kill them in seconds. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 609. Just imagine, when Yang Tian fights Seraphim, his combat power is weakened dozens of times because his attributes are restrained. Even if the Mega Mountain Forest buff is turned on, it can only offset it 10 times. If Yang Tian fights the Seraphim, his combat power will still be weakened several times. In this way, Yang Tian can easily kill the Seraphs instantly, let alone Huang Mao Xiaofei, Qin Yulang, and 4 others. Especially Xiaofei and Qin Yu, they are 8-winged angels. Their basic combat power is as high as 25 billion plus, which is much higher than Yang Tian. Wow, those bastards in muddy waters are too perverted, aren't they? Seconds. 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 Are they really playing the same game as us? Defense relies on Suan Wu. The combat power of Muddy Waters and the others is terrifying, their team is really terrifying. It is said that the Phantom of the Turtle can only last for 1 minute. It depends on whether Takeshi Miyamoto, Boss Luo, and the others can last 1 minute. Yang Tian and the others dispatched the Seraphim team twice in an instant, causing countless spectators below to scream in surprise and wailing in their hearts, only hating that Yang Tian and the others were not Japanese. At this time, the boss Luo's face was already extremely solemn, and he quickly chanted to summon a team of seraphs to resist the attack of Yang Tian and others. Yang Tian and the others still continued to slaughter, raising and lowering their knives like chopping melons and vegetables. However, except for Yang Tian, as Huang Mao and others used their ultimate moves, their killing efficiency dropped significantly. Yang Tian uses the undead to transform, and can switch into dozens of undead under his command at will, with ultimate moves, endless. But even with his presence, their team's overall killing efficiency has indeed slowed down. Yang Tian and others joined forces to massacre a wave of angels. Boss Rome summoned another wave of angels. After summoning the Seraphim, continue summoning the 4-winged angel and the 2-winged angel. 1 minute later, the ghost of the turtle disappeared, but Suan Wu was still full of health, because it used life revival to nurse itself when it was half healthy just now. At the same time, all the angel summons of the boss Luo were used up and all died. All summoning skills are stuck in the CD, and if you want to summon them again, it will be a few minutes later. In other words, Boss Logo couldn't summon angels to fight within these few minutes. I finally got through it. Boss Logo Zhao was already sweating profusely and breathed a long sigh of relief. God knows how much pressure he had just endured. The two siblings, Qianben, were stunned. Even Takeshi Miyamoto is livid. His status and dignity cannot be trampled upon by anyone, but almost all of Yang Tian and others can pose a threat to him. I finally got through it. I almost peed because I was so scared. You almost scared me when you peed, and I pooped my crotch all over. Boss Logo is still strong. He summons too many angels. If it weren't for Suan Wu, Muddy Waters, and the others would have been wiped out long ago, right? Well, it's possible. In fact, as long as it's a summoning profession, it will be very strong in the later stages. But it's hard for most people to persevere. The summoning profession consumes too much mana in the early stage. Did you know that the Boss Logo only changed his profession to the Lord of Light after reaching level 180? That Muddy Waters is equally scary. He is already level 198. He will become a god in 2 more levels. Then the undead army under his command will definitely be very scary. Below Sakura City, countless Japanese players secretly felt a cold sweat for the Boss Logo. Seeing the big Boss Logo carrying it off alone, many viewers smiled with relief. Next, Suan Wu disappeared from the Phantom of the Turtle, and the war really began. Angels protect you. After the Boss Logo chanted a little, he waved his hand and threw a skill at Miyamoto Takeshi. Behind Takeshi Miyamoto, a female 8-winged angel suddenly appeared. The female 8-winged angel was about 3 yards tall. Her white hands and 8 white wings embraced Takeshi Miyamoto. She smiled kindly and gently, guarding Takeshi Miyamoto like a spirit behind her. Although the special effects are different, Angel Guard is actually a shield. At this time, the spirit behind him was upper body, and the health bar above Miyamoto Takeshi's head was covered with a white shield bar. Shield white bar's HP is as high as 3 trillion. The boss, Logo, is an 8-winged angel and a god-level powerhouse. His basic combat power is as high as 30 billion. His angel protection is a full-level shield, 100 times stronger. Therefore, the shield white bar of Angel Guardian has up to 3 trillion HP. In fact, as an 8-winged angel, Qin Yu's basic combat power is as high as 25 billion, which is not much lower than the Boss Logo. But his 3 elemental shields all only have 300 to 500 billion HP. This is obviously because Qin Yu doesn't work hard enough. The level of his 3 elemental shields is not high, so the strength is far less than that of the Boss Logo. Angel Blessing. Light Prayer. Later, the Boss Logo applied several buffs to Takeshi Miyamoto in succession, causing the latter's attributes to skyrocket. Lord of the Undead, because of its soul skill Undead transformation, it is both a summoning profession and a combat profession. And because of the Undead transformation, it has a large number of skills, which are far more powerful than ordinary combat professions. If you don't talk about attribute restraint, the Lord of the Undead is definitely the most perfect profession in Takezu. As for the Lord of Light, in addition to being a summoning profession, it is also an auxiliary profession. Although it also has output skills, the number is very small, so in terms of combat, it mainly relies on auxiliary angels to fight. Oh, the rest is all up to you, Boss Logo said solemnly. In this battle, he has done his best. He single-handedly resisted Yang Tian and his men and Xian Wu for a full minute. Now all his skills are almost all cooled down, and he is useless in the next battle. Don't worry, Miyamoto Takeshi smiled evilly, full of confidence. As the owner of the Emperor-level Greedy Wolf bloodline, his attributes are extremely powerful, but his realm is the only thing that holds him back. He is only a Holy King after all. And in the Holy King realm, his basic combat power is as high as 10 billion. After adding the 2 buffs of Big Brother Logo, his combat power is even higher. But the most terrifying thing is his speed. If the speed of an ordinary Holy King is only 70 points, he has 210 points. It is even faster after adding the buff. His speed is as swift as the wind. With this speed, plus his combat power, and the shield of 3 trillion lives, now he is so terrifying, which is why Big Brother Logo dares to put his last support on him. Look, Takeshi Miyamoto is about to make a move. Takeshi Miyamoto, Shun Raikage, and the Demonis are known as the 3 most powerful men in our Greater Japan theater. Now we can see how powerful Takeshi Miyamoto is. Takeshi Miyamoto has the blood of the greedy wolf. The higher the power of the greedy wolf, the stronger it is. The same is true for the greedy wolf bloodline. Well, it is said that the Emperor-level greedy wolf bloodline has a 3-fold increase in all attributes. All attributes are tripled: life, basic physical attack, armor penetration, critical hit rate, critical damage, attribute strength, attack speed and movement speed, and guard attribute resistance are all tripled. MMP. Takeshi Miyamoto is the Emperor-level greedy wolf bloodline. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wangshi-san. Chapter 610. The Emperor-level greedy wolf bloodline is the strongest bloodline. Who dares to disapprove? The 8-winged angel bloodline, the 8-winged demon bloodline, and the divine dragon bloodline are all far incomparable. What's more important is that greedy wolf's bloodline improves attributes without any side effects. This is the most terrifying thing. Below Sakura City, countless spectators sighed. However, does greedy wolf blood really have no side effects? Even a person's Xinxing can be changed. If this is not a side effect, what is a side effect? Draw your sword and chop. I saw Miyamoto Takeshi suddenly unsheathing his sword, and a huge 180-degree sword wave suddenly appeared in front of him. The sword wave crushed the air all the way, making a buzzing sound effect, and shot up into the sky in front of him. People swept away wildly. Takeshi Miyamoto drew his sword and slashed with this move, which had at least 1 trillion combat power. Yang Tianlong, Xiaofei, Qin Yu, 4 people, and Suan Wu were able to bear it, but Huang Mao Langling couldn't bear it. Even if they were equipped with Qin Yu's elemental shield, they still couldn't bear it. Protected by the turtle. Because of this, Yang Tian decisively summoned the phantom of the turtle to cover everyone in the group. Unmoving as a mountain, Yang Tian remained motionless, as calm as a mountain. Brush. He drew his sword and slashed at the wave of swords, which swept past him wildly. Hundreds of billions of blood fell from the sky, and the white strips on the bone shield above his head dropped by a quarter. Qianben brother and sister were startled. The ghost of the turtle? Suanwu bloodline. Isn't muddy waters of divine dragon blood? Qianben and his sister couldn't understand. Yesterday, Yang Tian activated the divine dragon transformation, activated the Mega Mountain Forest, and killed the 2 brothers in an instant. As for Megatron Mountain Forest, it is considered a hidden buff, and no changes can be seen on the surface of the body. Therefore, the 2 Qianben brothers had no idea about the existence of Wei Zhen Shanlin and the White Tiger bloodline. However, it was a fact that they could confirm that Yang Tian had the blood of the dragon. No matter who you are, you can only have one bloodline at most, and he, Muddy Waters, is no exception. Could it be that, in just one day, he has changed the dragon bloodline to the Suanwu bloodline? Qianben, the 2 brothers, thought to themselves. Oh. So you are also of Suanwu bloodline? Don't you think that your life defense is very different from Suanwu's? With your Suanwu bloodline, it's simply a waste of resources, Takeshi Miyamoto sneered. Many Japanese viewers below also nodded in agreement. Of course they understand the Suanwu bloodline, the power of the turtle's guardianship. But that kind of power can only be truly brought out by the tank profession. Although Muddy Waters has some kind of hegemony skills, its life defense is still incomparable to that of a real tank. At this moment, Takeshi Miyamoto sneered and swept towards Yang Tian with his sword. Its speed is so fast that it exceeds the speed of sound, and it pulls out after images behind it. When he was about to rush in front of Yang Tian, the sneer from before fell to the ground. "Humph, I want to see how many times you can withstand my attacks." The scene in front of them shocked many spectators below. Holy crap, Miyamoto Takeshi's movement speed is already far faster than the speed of sound. This is too scary. With this kind of speed and good combat power, Muddy Waters is no match for him. You know, Miyamoto Takeshi is only in the realm of a holy king now, and he will be even more terrifying when he becomes a god in the future. The person below was shocked. The cry sounded like a wave. However, what's the use of your speed? The lion roars. Yang Tian sneered, and immediately the shadow of a male lion appeared behind him. They both roared together, emitting a golden sound wave that seemed to be substantial, blasting the air to produce a buzzing sound effect, and swept out wildly in all directions. Miyamoto Takeshi's body was as fast as the wind, but he was still swept by the golden sound wave, and he instantly vomited blood and flew backwards. He was not dizzy, but fell directly on the spot. "Nani?" The boss Luoyi was startled. The two siblings Kanban couldn't believe it. Many Japanese spectators below were screaming in disbelief as if they had seen a ghost. Each of them opened their mouths wide enough to stuff an egg in. Everyone's jaws had already been shattered. What the hell is going on? Is Muddy Waters really that powerful? Miyamoto Takeshi is an emperor-level greedy wolf bloodline person. All attributes are increased 3 times, and the defense is so terrifying. It is probably stronger than the tank profession. On this basis, plus the Angel Guard, a shield with 3 trillion HP, plus the 2 super powerful buffs from Boss Luo. I didn't expect that he would be instantly killed by Muddy Waters. Muddy Water, so scary. Many viewers below did not know that Yang Tian had the blood of the White Tiger and could cause 10 times the real damage to Takeshi Miyamoto. So what happened in front of them was difficult for them to understand, and they were all screams of terror. At this time, in their hearts, Yang Tian was as terrifying as a demon. In fact, Yang Tian's lion roar is just an additional skill of the title. Titles can also be considered equipment. Generally, the additional skills of equipment are not powerful and cannot be upgraded. Guardian of Leo, this is actually an early title, because the group control effect is quite unbelievable. Yang Tian never gave up. But in fact, the power of the lion's roar is extremely average. At this stage, any full-level skill, even a low-level full-level skill, can easily do 100 times the percentage damage. The lion's roar only deals 10 times the damage, which is actually a huge difference. Yang Tian's basic combat power is as high as 4 billion. With the Mega Mountain Forest buff and the lion's roar, his combat power is 400 billion. White Tiger Bloodline, divine power to drive away evil, allows Yang Tian to hit dark creatures and cause 10 times the real damage. Yang Tian's full-level fighting spirit and Miyamoto Takeshi's full-level fighting spirit cancel each other out. So Yang Tian's lion's roar at that time had a combat power of 4 trillion. Because it was real damage, he could ignore defense and directly cause 4 trillion damage to Miyamoto Takeshi, killing him instantly. It's just that Yang Tian has the bloodline of the White Tiger, and outsiders don't know it. Miyamoto Takeshi, I'm afraid he won't know how he died. Miyamoto Takeshi, rubbish. What, the 3 strongest men in the Japanese war zone? It's simply embarrassing. You've even embarrassed yourself abroad, so rubbish, so disgusting. Yeah, since you don't have the strength, don't try to stand out. Shame, some Japanese angry young people cursed directly. How much hope they had before, how disappointed they are now. The ruthless curses below surged like a tide, making the big brother Luo and the Kanban brothers and sisters feel under great pressure. They still don't understand how Yang Tian killed Miyamoto Takeshi in an instant. However, Yang Tian didn't give them a chance to react, and rushed towards the three of them together with Huang Mao and the others. The phantom of the divine turtle moved with Yang Tian, giving Yang Tian an aura of unstoppable dominance. Qian Ben Shuiying exclaimed, and quickly drew her bow to release a rain of arrows. Bang, bang, bang. Countless arrows fell like a rainstorm, and because of the protection of the divine turtle, Yang Tian still had to bear the damage alone. Under the domineering body that was as immovable as a mountain, Yang Tian lost more than 100 billion blood again, and the blood bar of the bone shield on his head was finally less than half.